What preachers have done, and I don't want to make this a long video, but what preachers have done is take the Bible and made it this wishy-washy thing. And you thinking that faith and is just sitting around believing and the Most High has to do whatever you tell him or whatever you're asking him to do. But that's not faith. Things don't work like that in the Bible. That's why it's important to read the Bible all the way through. And when you read the stories, you realize what faith is. It's some sort of action. It's obedience. Believing in the Most High means being obedient. It doesn't mean sitting around on your couch. And the Most High can't do things for you as long as you're in a certain place. There are going to be times when you're going to have to do things a little different. You're going to have to move from where you are, either mentally or physically. And the people you have around you are very important. I'm not trying to turn this into some psychological thing, but there is a psychology aspect to the Bible. You can't just do whatever you want to do and just believe. It doesn't work that way. So let's start by reading Hebrews chapter 11, which is the faith chapter, right? Hebrews chapter 11, starting at the top. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders attained a good report. This means that the elders who we read about in the Bible, the reason why we are able to read about them is because they had faith. But almost everybody here that's listed in this chapter are people who in the Old Testament did something. They moved. They were obedient. Through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of the Most High, so that things which are seen were made by things which do not appear. For by faith, Abel offered unto Elohim a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous, Elohim testifying of his gifts, and by it being dead yet speaketh. This is going back to the old story in Genesis. He offered a better sacrifice than Cain. He was obedient. Cain was not obedient. Faith is all about obedience, doing what the Most High says. By faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found because Elohim had translated him. But before his translation, he had this testimony that he pleased God. His obedience. There were things that Enoch did that we can't read about here, that Enoch did that the Most High was pleased by him. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Elohim must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. You're not being obedient for free. If you don't believe that the Most High is going to reward you monetarily, spiritually, for being obedient, then you don't understand the Bible. That's what faith is all about, is believing that if you are obedient, that the Most High will reward you through many gifts. And we read that all through the scriptures. But you must be obedient. I'm going to skip down to verse 8. By faith, Abraham was called unto a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed, and went out, not knowing whither he went. By faith, he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. Abraham was called, when we read in the Old Testament in Genesis, Abraham was called to go out to a different place. He had to leave his family behind. The Most High could not work with him there. So let's read that. Genesis chapter 12, starting with verse 1. Now the Most High had said to Abram, Get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. Now we can read this, and we can jump down and soak ourselves in the rest of the chapter. But the key is at the top of the chapter. Get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, which is thy family, and from thy father. Now Abraham was about 70 years old when he left. So he's old enough, he's mature, he understands life. In his hometown where he grew up, the Most High could not bless him there. So that's what we read about in Hebrews, that the Most High blessed him once he obeyed. Now, this idea that the Most High can do anything and save you from anything, the Bible doesn't work that way. It's explicit in story after story. And to unlock the Bible, you have to do exactly what you see the elders do. And for things to work out for you, that's what you're going to have to do. If there's negativity around you from your own family, from your friends, you're going to have to move to a place where the Most High can bless you. I don't know if that's the plan that the Most High has for you. You have to pray and look at this for yourself as an individual. I'm just giving you an example of how the Bible or the scriptures work. It's not this mystical book. It's about action and obedience. And the Most High gives you a commandment, you must be obedient to that commandment. And that's what the whole chapter of Hebrews is about. it lists all the people who were obedient to the commandments, and not just the general commandments for all Israel and for what the Most High wants, but specific messages to each individual. The purpose of this video is about explaining that the Most High will have difficulty blessing you when you're around people who are negative towards you. It could be your own family. Mark chapter 6 verse 1. And when he went out from there and came into his own country, and his own disciples followed him. And when the Sabbath day was come, he began to teach in the synagogue. And many hearing him were astounded, saying, From where hath this man many things? And what wisdom is this which is given unto him, that even such mighty works are wrought by his hands? Is this not the carpenter, the son of Mary, and the brother of James, and Joseph, and of Judah, and Simon? And are not his sisters here with us? And they were offended at him. But the master said unto them, Prophet is not without honor, but in his own country, and among his own kin, and his own house. And he could do there no mighty work, save that he laid his hand on a few sick folk and healed them. And he marveled because of their unbelief. And he went round about the villages teaching. Preachers are going to, in order to get your money, are going to tell you about faith and believing and some mystical thing that is not in the Bible. This is plain and simple about negativity, the people who are closest to you, the people who you grew up with. And if the master himself could not overcome their negativity put limits on him. So if the master himself could not overcome the negativity, how can you do it? This is why you have set yourself apart from people who are closest to you and even your own family. If the negativity persists, it's not about faith. This is about people and how they see you. If you're little in their sight, you will not be able to do the things that the Most High has intended for you. You are putting limits on yourself until you set yourself apart from your people who are close to you and your own family if the negativity persists. So to sum this all up, the Bible is not a mystical book about magic and kung fu. It's about actions and obedience and negativity from the people around you. It's impossible for you to overcome. If even the master could not overcome the negativity of the people who were close to him, the people who grew up, the people who knew him best, the Most High could not bless Abraham until he moved out from the people he knew best. You're going to have to analyze and look at your own life and to see if some of your struggles is due to the negativity of the people who are closest to you. That's it for today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.